Right now, across Australia, rare $2 coins are secretly sitting in wallets, piggy banks, and cash registers, while most people have absolutely no idea what they're worth. Some of these tiny coins have sold for hundreds, and in certain cases, even thousands of dollars to serious collectors. But here's the crazy part. The difference between an ordinary $2 coin and a valuable one can be so small that most Australians completely miss it. A tiny design detail, a rare year, a special release. That's it. So before you spend your spare change again, make sure you watch this video till the end, because today I'm revealing 5 Australian $2 coins that collectors are actively searching for right now, including one coin that shocked the entire coin collecting community with its value. Let's get started with number 1 coin, the 1999 Australian $2 coin. And right from the start, I need you to understand that this particular year is not just another entry in the Royal Australian Mint's catalog. This is the coin that collectors in Australia whisper about. This is the coin that has turned ordinary people sitting at kitchen tables into people calling auction houses with shaking hands. The year 1999 sits at a genuinely fascinating intersection of Australian minting history, and if you hold one of these right now, you need to pay very close attention to every single word I am about to say. The standard 1999 $2 coin features the iconic Makhlouf effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. That elegant right-facing portrait that Australians grew up with through the late 80s and 90s. On the reverse, you have that timeless image of an Aboriginal elder designed by Horst Hahn, one of the most recognized coin designs in the entire Southern Hemisphere. Beautiful. Iconic. But here is where things get seriously interesting, because not all 1999 $2 coins were created equal, and the differences between them represent the difference between having $2 in your pocket and having something that could pay off a significant chunk of your bills. The mintage figures for 1999 are what first draw serious numismatic attention. When you start breaking down exactly how many of these coins were struck for general circulation versus how many made their way into mint sets, proof strikes, and special packaging, the numbers tell a very compelling story about scarcity. Circulation strikes from this year exist in the tens of millions, yes, but here is the thing about coin collecting and value that casual observers always miss. It is never about how many were made. It is always about how many survived in high-grade condition. And 1999 $2 coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are genuinely rare finds in today's market. When we talk about grading, we are speaking the language of money. A circulated 1999 $2 coin that has been through wallets, vending machines, parking meters, and pub counters for over 2 decades might look perfectly fine to the untrained eye. But place that same coin under a professional grader's loupe, and you will see the hairlines, the contact marks, the dulled luster that drops a coin's value dramatically. Now contrast that with a 1999 $2 coin that somehow escaped circulation entirely, that stayed in original mint packaging or was pulled straight from a mint roll and never touched by bare hands. In a grade of MS65 or above, meaning mint state, brilliant, essentially perfect, these coins have achieved prices that most Australians would find genuinely shocking. We are talking about valuations sitting comfortably in the range of 2,000 to 4,000 Australian dollars for superb gem examples when they hit the right auction room with the right bidders in attendance. And before you think that sounds exaggerated, understand that the Australian rare coin market has been on an absolute tear over the past decade. Domestic collectors who once focused purely on pre-decimal coins have increasingly turned their attention to decimal rarities, and the 1999 $2 has become a serious target. But wait, because we have not even touched the error coins and variety pieces from this year, and this is where the conversation moves from interesting to genuinely life-changing. Error coins from Australian minting are among the most fiercely competed for items in the entire Pacific numismatic market. The 1999 $2 has documented examples of striking anomalies, including off-center strikes, where the design is visibly shifted from its intended position on the planche. An off-center strike of even 10 to 15% on a 1999 $2 coin in decent condition is worth serious money. We are talking starting bids in the $3,000 range for modest examples, climbing rapidly toward $8, $10, even $12,000 for dramatic off-center pieces with strong design elements still visible and good overall condition. Then there are the double strike errors, where a coin receives a second impression from the die, creating that ghostly doubled image that makes even experienced collectors stop and stare. Double-struck 1999 $2 coins are extraordinarily rare. If you have one, you are not looking at a coin worth $2. You are looking at a coin worth potentially $15,000 or more, depending on the severity of the doubling, the grade of the coin, and the hunger of the room at auction. Cud errors, where a chunk breaks away from the die and creates a raised blob of metal on the coin's surface. Die cap errors, brockages, broad strikes, and rotated die errors have all been documented across Australian $2 coinage. And any of them appearing on a 1999 example add zeros to the value conversation very quickly. The proof version of the 1999 $2 coin deserves its own moment here. Proof coins struck at the Royal Australian Mint use specially prepared dies and specially prepared planches to achieve those mirror-like fields and frosted device relief that makes them look almost three-dimensional. Proof 1999 $2 coins in their original packaging with certificates of authenticity intact regularly trade hands for $800 to $1,500 in normal transactions. When a pristine proof example with exceptional cameo contrast, meaning that dramatic frosted versus mirror contrast on the surfaces, hits a major auction, prices can surge well past $3,000. Serious cameo proof examples from 1999 have been known to attract bids exceeding $5,000 when multiple motivated collectors are competing simultaneously. The colored variety and special edition packaging pieces from around this era also carry premiums that most people completely underestimate. If you have a 1999 $2 coin in any kind of special Royal Australian Mint packaging, do not open it, do not touch the coin, and get it assessed before you assume it is worth face value. The packaging alone can be the difference between $2 and $200, and the coin inside in perfect condition can push that number far beyond what you are imagining right now. Next up. Now let us move into 2001, because this year carries a weight and a significance that goes far beyond numismatics and straight into the heart of Australian national identity. And that emotional connection to this coin is a massive part of why its value has climbed so dramatically and why it continues to climb year after year with no sign of stopping. The 2001 Australian $2 coin was issued as part of the centenary of Australian Federation celebrations. 100 years of nationhood. The entire country was in a celebratory, commemorative mood, and the Royal Australian Mint responded with a coin that captured that spirit beautifully. But here is the thing that transforms this coin from sentimental keepsake into serious investment-grade numismatic asset. Sentimental value and numismatic value are two very different forces, and when they align on the same object, the result is a price trajectory that leaves ordinary observers absolutely stunned. The 2001 $2 coin features the standard Aboriginal elder reverse design that Australians know so well, but the context of the year gives it an overlay of historical significance that makes collectors unwilling to let their examples go at anything less than serious prices. The first generation of collectors who held these coins as brand new centenary pieces are now seasoned numismatists who have watched Australian coin values multiply dramatically, and they are not selling cheap. Mintage analysis for the 2001 $2 is absolutely crucial to understanding its value potential. Circulation figures from this year tell part of the story, but the real story lies in survivorship. How many of the coins struck in 2001 survived in genuinely uncirculated condition through 2 decades plus of economic activity? The honest answer is very few. Australia's $2 coins circulate heavily. They go into parking meters, they go into vending machines, they get tossed into jars and drawers, and car console compartments. The physical survival rate of high-grade examples from any circulation year is remarkably low, and 2001 is no exception. An MS-65 graded 2001 $2 coin from a reputable third-party grading service like PCGs or NGC, the international standards that Australian collectors and investors increasingly rely upon, is a genuinely exciting find. These graded examples in top-tier holders have been changing hands at auction for figures between 2,500 and 5,000 Australian dollars, depending on the exact grade, the quality of the luster, the sharpness of the strike, and the enthusiasm of the bidders in the room or online. The error landscape on 2001 $2 coins is one of the most discussed topics in Australian numismatic circles, and for very good reason. Multiple die varieties from this year have been catalogued, documented, and vigorously competed for. Hub doubling on the obverse, where the working hub was used in a way that creates subtle but clearly visible doubling of design elements, has been identified on 2001 $2 coins, and examples confirming this variety in any decent grade are valued at significant premiums over standard examples. We are talking conservatively about $3,000 to $5,000 for well-documented hub doubling examples in circulated but clearly identifiable condition, with the price climbing toward $10,000 and beyond for mint state examples where the doubling is dramatic and unambiguous. Struck on wrong planchet errors, while extraordinarily rare, have been documented in Australian $2 coinage around this era. If a $2 coin design was ever struck on a different denomination's planchet, whether slightly larger, slightly smaller, or composed of a different metal alloy, the resulting mule or wrong planchet error transforms the coin into one of the most significant and valuable Australian decimal coin errors in existence. Such pieces, if they exist in your collection, are not worth thousands. They are worth tens of thousands, and specialist dealers would move very quickly to acquire them. The proof strikes from 2001 carry that extra layer of centenary significance that elevates their value above standard year proof pieces. The 2001 proof $2 in its original presentation packaging has consistently sold for $1,200 to $2,000 in the collector market, with exceptional cameo examples pushing well above that range. Complete 2001 proof sets in their original Royal Australian Mint packaging, with all documentation intact, are among the more sought-after mint products from this era, and the $2 coin anchors that sets desirability. Color varieties produced by the Mint or by licensed colorists around the centenary period exist in small numbers and carry significant premiums. If you have a 2001 $2 coin with any form of color applied that appears original and professionally done rather than an aftermarket modification, get it assessed. Genuine factory-issued color examples from this year are worth serious investigation. What really makes the 2001 $2 an exceptional long-term hold is its combination of historical significance, controlled quality survivorship, and growing domestic collector demand. Australia's numismatic community is maturing rapidly. Younger collectors who grew up in 2001 and remember the centenary celebrations are now entering their prime collecting and spending years, and they want the coins that meant something to them historically. Demand for high-quality 2001 $2 coins is going in one direction, and that direction is not down. Next up, the 2002 Australian $2 coin enters this conversation carrying a very particular kind of numismatic importance, one rooted not in a single dramatic event, but in a collection of factors that combine to make this year's issues genuinely fascinating for anyone who understands how coin values actually develop over time in the Australian market. 2002 represents a year of genuine transition in Australian coinage. The Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Queen Elizabeth II was being phased into Australian coinage during this period. And the transition years in any monarch's effigy on coinage always produce collector interest because they mark a clear before and after moment in the visual history of Australian coins. Any 2002 $2 coin you encounter might carry the older Makhlouf portrait or might represent one of the transitional uses of the updated portrait. And variety collectors prize these transitional pieces intensely. The standard 2002 $2 in circulated condition is, as with all circulation strikes, worth examining for grade and variety before assuming it is just face value. But the real conversation around 2002 begins when you start looking at the mint state end of the grading spectrum. Coins graded MS66 or above from 2002 exist in genuinely tiny numbers in certified collections, and the prices those pieces command reflect that scarcity in a very direct way. Auction records for Superb Gem 2002 $2 coins have shown prices ranging from 1,800 to 4,000 Australian dollars, with exceptional examples pushing further when multiple grade-focused collectors compete for the same piece. The die variety situation with 2002 $2 coins is something that relatively few casual collectors appreciate, but that dedicated numismatists get extremely animated about. Australian mint dies go through their own life cycles, and coins struck early in a die's life versus coins struck late as the die begins to show wear and fatigue look visibly different under magnification. Early die state coins from 2002 show crisper, more fully detailed strikes with better definition in the fine hair and facial details of the Aboriginal elder portrait on the reverse. Late die state coins show progressive flattening and weakness in the highest relief areas. Early die state examples in mint state condition are worth considerably more than their late die state counterparts in the same numerical grade, and that difference can add thousands of dollars to a coin's value. Errors from 2002 run the full spectrum of what can go wrong in a high-volume coin production environment. Partial collar errors, where the collar die that keeps the coin's edge properly formed fails to fully engage, create coins with partially reeded, partially plain or mushroomed edges. These are visually dramatic and unmistakably error coins. A 2002 $2 partial collar error in any decent condition is a coin worth at minimum several $1,000s. More dramatic collar errors, where the edge is significantly distorted, push toward $5,000 to $8,000 in specialist auction environments. Clipped planche errors are among the more commonly encountered genuine errors in Australian coinage, and when they appear on 2002 $2 coins, they consistently attract strong bidding. A curved clip of 10% or more on a 2002 $2 coin is worth investigating thoroughly. Small clips in the 2 to 5% range are worth several $100s. Larger, more dramatic clips of 15% or more, particularly when they appear at positions that do not interrupt key design elements, are worth multiple thousands of dollars to the right collector. The Proof 2002 $2 occupies an interesting position in the market because production numbers for proof coins in this year were relatively modest, and survival rates in truly pristine condition are lower than casual observers would expect. Proof coins seem like they should always be in perfect condition because they were made for collectors, but the reality is that improper storage, handling without cotton gloves, humid Australian garages and cupboards, and general indifference from recipients who saw them as gifts rather than investments have compromised a significant portion of the original production. Finding a Proof 2002 $2 coin in its original packaging, perfectly toned, or with brilliant original surfaces and strong cameo contrast, is genuinely exciting. These pieces trade between $1,000 and $2,500 regularly, with outstanding examples going higher. Investing time in properly identifying your 2002 $2 coins is something that can return extraordinary dividends. A coin that looks like $2 to the untrained eye might look like $3,000 to a specialist numismatist. And the difference between those two assessments is simply knowledge applied to the same physical object. Next up, we have arrived at the 2009 Australian $2 coin. And I want you to lean in because this year produced one of the most genuinely exciting and commercially successful commemorative $2 coin programs in Australian decimal coinage history. And the values that certain pieces from this year have achieved in recent years are enough to make your head spin. The year 2009 saw the Royal Australian Mint issue a significant commemorative $2 coin honoring a theme of deep national importance to Australians. And this commemorative issue sits at the center of one of the most interesting collector debates in recent Australian numismatic history. Standard year 2009 $2 coins with the regular Aboriginal elder reverse exist alongside the commemorative issue. And the interaction between these two different coin types in the collector market creates fascinating value dynamics. Beginning with the standard 2009 $2 circulation coin, the same principles that govern all high-grade decimal rarities apply here with equal force. In circulated grades, these coins are, by themselves, not dramatically valuable. But the moment you cross into the mint state territory, particularly into the MS64 and above range, the numbers become genuinely interesting. High-grade uncirculated examples of the standard 2009 $2 have been selling in the $800 to $2,000 range, with top-grade certified examples reaching further. Now let us talk about the 2009 commemorative $2 program, because this is where things get seriously interesting for Australian coin collectors. The specially designed reverses that appeared on $2 coins in 2009 attracted collector attention immediately upon release. And that initial enthusiasm has only compounded over the subsequent years as the supply of pristine examples has tightened while demand from an expanding collector base has grown. Colored versions of the 2009 commemorative $2, officially issued by the Royal Australian Mint, represent one of the most actively traded categories in modern Australian numismatics. These colored coins in their original Royal Australian Mint presentation packaging, with all original documentation intact, are worth dramatically more than their face value, and the prices they achieve in auction can surprise even experienced collectors. Well-preserved examples in original packaging have sold for $300 to $800 at the modest end of the market, with rarer colored varieties and pristine examples reaching $1,500 to $3,000. The error landscape on 2009 $2 coins is rich with possibility. The transition between design types and the increased production volumes associated with commemorative programs creates conditions where minting errors are more likely to occur, and more likely to be varied and dramatic when they do. Off-center strikes on the 2009 commemorative $2 have been particularly sought after because the off-center nature of the error interacts with the commemorative design in ways that are visually compelling and historically significant. These pieces are not just errors. They are error pieces on historically significant coin designs. And that combination creates value that specialist collectors pay extraordinary premiums for. We are talking about prices for dramatic off-center 2009 commemorative $2 errors that start at $4,000 and climb rapidly toward $10,000 to $15,000 for the most dramatic examples in the best condition. If you have a 2009 $2 coin that looks noticeably off-center, do not dismiss it. Do not spend it. Get it assessed by a specialist immediately, because you could be holding a 5-figure coin in your hand right now. Die cap errors and brockage errors from 2009 are equally thrilling. A brockage error occurs when a freshly struck coin sticks to the die and then strikes the next incoming planche, creating a mirror image incuse impression of the design on that second coin. Brockage errors are visually stunning, immediately recognizable, and worth extraordinary amounts of money. A full brockage on a 2009 $2 coin, whether standard or commemorative, would be one of the most significant Australian decimal error coins discovered in recent years. Conservative estimates for such a piece start at 20,000 Australian dollars and could legitimately go significantly higher depending on the grade and completeness of the brockage. Proof versions of the 2009 $2 across both standard and commemorative designs are consistently strong performers in the auction market. The proof commemorative $2 from 2009 in pristine condition with original packaging has been realizing prices between $1,000 and $2,500, with top examples going higher when demand is strong. What makes 2009 $2 coins such compelling collector targets today is the combination of historical significance, diversity of types within a single year, documented error varieties, and the relentless growth of the Australian collector base. Anyone who bought high-grade 2009 $2 coins 5 years ago and held them has seen substantial appreciation, and current market dynamics suggest that trajectory is far from finished. Next up, we save an extraordinary coin for last. The 2013 Australian $2 coin is not merely the final entry on today's list. It is arguably the most important, the most discussed, the most actively traded, and in certain varieties, the most valuable $2 coin we have examined today. And by the time I finish telling you exactly what makes 2013 so special, you will understand why Australian collectors treat this year with something approaching reverence. The 2013 Australian $2 coin year includes what has become one of the most famous and most sought-after varieties in modern Australian decimal coin collecting. This is the year of the Remembrance $2 coin. The coin issued to mark the centenary of the establishment of Australia's standing army, and more specifically, the red poppy-colored $2 coin that entered circulation and became one of the most iconic circulating commemorative coins in Australian history. But before we get to the colored varieties, let us talk about the standard 2013 $2 coin in mint state. Because even before you add any commemorative significance, the standard issue in high grade is a genuinely valuable piece. MS65 and above examples of the standard 2013 $2 in certified holders have been realizing $1,000 to $2,500. The top of the grade scale, MS67 and higher, remains essentially unpopulated in certified collections, meaning that any piece achieving that grade would likely shatter existing benchmark prices and set new records for the issue. Now let us talk about the red poppy $2 coin from 2013, because this is where the conversation becomes genuinely electric. The colored red poppy $2 was released into circulation as a deliberate public engagement exercise, placing a beautifully designed commemorative colored coin directly into the hands of everyday Australians. The mint struck a specific number of these coins for circulation, and from the moment they appeared in change at supermarkets and petrol stations, Australians began pulling them out of circulation and saving them. Every person who pulled one out of circulation effectively reduced the surviving population of high-grade examples, which is an interesting dynamic, because it means the very popularity of these coins simultaneously drove their value up and reduced the supply of pristine examples. The red poppy 2013 $2 in gently circulated condition, showing minimal wear and with the color vibrant and well-preserved, trades regularly in the $200 to $500 range. Move into the territory of uncirculated or near uncirculated examples with vivid original color, full luster on the non-colored surfaces, and sharp strike detail, and you are in the $1,000 to $3,000 conversation. Certified MS65 examples of the red poppy 2013 $2 have achieved auction prices of $3,500 to $5,000 when the grade and color preservation align perfectly. But here is where the 2013 story gets truly extraordinary and genuinely heart-pounding for anyone who might have an example of this coin. Error varieties on the 2013 red poppy $2 are among the most valuable errors in the entire spectrum of modern Australian coinage. The reason is simple. An error on a standard coin is significant. An error on an already commemorative, already collectible, already beloved coin is exponentially more significant. Off-center red poppy errors from 2013 have been the subject of some of the most intense bidding wars seen in Australian numismatic auctions in recent memory. When the design is visibly shifted on the planche of a red poppy $2, you have a coin that sits at the intersection of two of the most powerful forces in Australian coin collecting, which are commemorative significance and error rarity. These pieces, depending on the degree of off-center and the preservation of the color and the overall grade, have been valued at between $8,000 and $25,000 Australian dollars. That is not face value. That is not a couple of $100s. That is potentially more than many Australians have in their bank accounts, and it might be sitting in your coin jar right now. Coins struck on wrong planches, double strikes, full brockages, and dramatic die cap errors on the 2013 red poppy $2 occupy an even more rarefied price tier. Specialists and major collectors have indicated privately and publicly that a dramatic, high-grade error on the red poppy $2 would attract bids starting at $30,000 and potentially reaching $50,000 or beyond at a major international numismatic auction with proper attribution, documentation, and pre-auction promotion. These are not hypothetical numbers. These reflect the genuine hunger that exists in the market for exceptional pieces from this coin story. Even without errors, the standard 2013 $2 year produced multiple varieties across proof, uncirculated sets, and special packaging issues that carry significant individual premiums. Proof 2013 $2 coins in original Royal Australian Mint packaging with matching certificates have consistently sold for $1,000 to $2,000. Special packaging versions, year sets, and collector presentation products from 2013 featuring the $2 coin are all worth investigating carefully before assuming they represent only their face value. The long-term investment case for high-grade 2013 $2 coins, and particularly for 2013 red poppy examples in any condition, is exceptionally strong. Poppy coins get spent every year as the people who saved them fail to realize they are sitting on real money. The population of high-grade surviving examples shrinks continuously. Meanwhile, the collector base in Australia grows steadily, fueled by accessible information, online communities, and the mainstreaming of coin collecting as an investment strategy. Anyone holding high-quality 2013 examples right now is holding an asset with the wind firmly at its back. 5 coins. 5 incredible stories. 5 reasons to go through every single $2 coin you own with completely fresh eyes starting from tonight. The 1999 coin with its mint state rarity and dramatic error potential. The 2001 centenary issue that combines national pride with numismatic scarcity. The 2002 transition year with its die variety richness and pristine proof opportunities. The 2009 commemorative program with its colored varieties and extraordinary error landscape. And the 2013 red poppy legend that has turned ordinary people into stunned auction winners across this country. Go find your coin jar. Go check your old wallets and jacket pockets and car consoles. Check every $2 coin you own against what you learned today. And when you find something that does not look quite right, when the design seems shifted or doubled, or the edge looks wrong, or the color looks original and vibrant, do not spend it. Do not give it away. Get it assessed by a specialist because you might have just found the coin that changes everything. If this video helped you or even got you thinking differently about the change in your pocket, smash that subscribe button right now. New videos dropping regularly covering Australian coins, world coins, errors, varieties, and the auction results that keep surprising everyone. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.